We're taking a peek into geek culture and sharing our top 10 fandom favorites. Let Your Geek Sideshow presents Geek Culture Countdown. Hey guys.
Hi, I'm Susan.
And I'm Kitty. And welcome back to the Geek Culture Countdown.
Woohoo!
So this week, who talks first?
You talk first.
This week, we're counting down our top 10 Thanos appearances throughout the Marvel Universe. And now we've picked stuff from both the movies and the comics.
Yes. It's kind of comic book heavy, but Thanos has had a lot more time in comics than he has on screen in the MCU.
Yeah, his biggest on-screen appearance is set for April 27th.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I hope you guys have your tickets. I know we do.
Oh my goodness. So let's just jump into this. From courting death to chasing Infinity Stones, this is the Geek Culture Countdown of Thanos appearances. All right, so I'm going to start with number 10, one of my personal favorites. It's a more humorous take on the Mad Titan. This is the Thanos Copter, the infamous Thanos Copter from Spidey Super Stories number 39. This was Thanos's mode of transportation for tracking the Cosmic Cube in a story that involved Spider-Man and the cat, who was also Hellcat the cat. Yeah. So it's really funny because a kid, like a normal New York City kid, also ends up getting in on the action. So Thanos appears in New York City. He's looking for the Cosmic Cube. He gets it. He drops it. He causes an earthquake, which causes him to drop it again. And then by the end of all the shenanigans, he ends up getting arrested by the New York police and Spider-Man while this kid tosses Kat the Cosmic Cube and is like, "Here, lady, take this." And she's like, "Thanks."
To be fair, like, Thanos actually has quite a few funny moments. Like, I feel like most of mine involve, like, really serious things with him, but he has a lot of silly type things that he did, especially, like, in acquiring the Infinity Stones, some gems in the comics themselves.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So we'll try to put some humorous moments in here. There's a lot of scary stuff that Thanos does, but I think it's good to be able to laugh at the villains as well. So number 10 is the Thanos Copter.
Number 9 is silly. Is it serious? I don't know. It really depends on how you look at it. For most fans, this happened in the more recent Thanos number 14. It's when Thanos was named Dion or Dion or however we pronounce it. But so that had a very strong reaction from fans of Thanos because, you know, why would we ever want him to have a different name than Thanos, the Mad Titan himself, right? Like, yeah,
because, I mean, even the word Thanos comes from the word for death.
Right.
Like, he is the ultimate
He's
bad.
not supposed to have, like, the name of some, you know, like someone on Earth can have, like someone who can sing.
And believe me, there were a lot of Celine Dion jokes.
Oh, yeah, there were. That. But also Dionne Warwick jokes. There were lots. Anyway, they were asking Thanos if he knew the way to San Jose and stuff like that. Anyway.
Not quite.
So we put this as number 9, mostly because it was such a big moment in terms of pop culture and Thanos. Like, this had a very strong fan reaction, as a lot of people who have loved the character for a long time felt one way or another very strongly about it. So the thing about this moment, though, is that it didn't actually happen. It was something that was going to happen. When Thanos' mother gave birth to him, she went insane at the sight of such a creature and decided to name him Thanos instead. So he was never named Dion. He was just named Thanos.
It's always like that. Oh, what were you going to be named as a baby?
Yeah.
Like, oh, Dion.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, this is kind of a humorous Thanos moment, and it's definitely something that Kitty and I have laughed about so many times that we just really wanted to put it in our top 10 Thanos moment countdown.
All right, so number 8, now we're getting to some serious stuff. Number 8 is when Drax rips out Thanos' beating heart from Annihilation number 4 comic series in 2006. So this was one of the first kind of bigger Thanos death moments where you saw that someone could bring him to his knees. And, you know, it was due to a misunderstanding, thinking that Thanos was on the opposite side from the heroes. He was planning to double-cross Annihilus, but Drax didn't get the memo. And so there was a page-turn reveal where Drax just punched straight through Thanos' chest and had his heart in his hand, and all Thanos said was, "Interesting." And that, I mean, there's not much what other kind of reaction could you give to that?
I'm pretty sure you just die.
Yeah. So interesting. And then he died. And Thanos has been resurrected, obviously, and also killed off in other subsequent comics. But this one was kind of a big deal when it happened. Drax was always destined to kill Thanos from his inception. Yep. And so that was really cool to see a fulfillment of that. So Drax ripping out Thanos' heart is number 8 on our list.
Number 7 is the mid-credits scene in Avengers of 2012. So this was the first time we saw Thanos in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And all he really did was give us that signature grin that he's so known for with the teeth and everything. And I just remember, I mean, most of this, since it was it was just a moment. I mean, it wasn't a thing except that it was Thanos, and that we were going to be doing something bigger. Like that
it was coming off of the wave of the fact that they just successfully pulled off the biggest superhero crossover film.
Right. But at that moment, we knew it was going to get bigger. Like this was just going to be the start of the MCU. And, 2012, so what, we're going on 6 years later, we're finally getting him with his gauntlet, hopefully all the way with all the stones. I mean, not hopefully, because we know what happens when he gets all of them. But at the same time, like, how long have comic book fans waited to see that? And our first taste was at that mid-credit scene in the Avengers movie in 2012.
6 years later, I don't even think I'm still ready for it. Like, it's going to be terrifying.
It's so amazing.
But the payoff is going to be huge.
It's so amazing. I can't believe it. Anyway, so number 7 is the mid-credit scene from Avengers in 2012.
All right, so number 6 on our list is when Thanos kills Adam Warlock. So this is from Avengers Annual number 7, and Adam Warlock has long been one of Thanos' greatest foils in the Marvel Universe. I mean,
he's the perfect being.
He is, he is the perfect being, and Thanos is the deviant.
Yeah.
The deviant son of Titan.
Of course, he was always set up to do that with Thanos.
So this one, when I was researching it, confused me a little bit because I think Infinity Stones used to be called Soul Gems in some iterations of the comics.
They were always called gems.
They were called
instead of stones, but that's something that happened more with the MCU. But
because Adam Warlock has a soul gem, and
he was trapped in the soul gem.
Yes, and so this is an instance where Warlock warns the Avengers that Thanos has a bunch of power, and I think he has all the gems at this point, and he's going to use them to destroy the universe, and so everybody has to launch the offensive on Thanos, and Warlock goes at it with Thanos. But in the end, the Mad Titan sends him on to Mistress Death, and he says, "Say hi to her when you get there." But Adam Warlock does get revived by his soul gem fairly quickly after the battle. But still, seeing this epic struggle between Thanos and Adam Warlock was a huge deal, and the fact that after such a brutal fight, Thanos was able to bring him down.
It's also very exhausting because Adam Warlock has certain powers over the soul gem itself, so it means that Thanos isn't at his full strength whenever he's fighting him.
Yeah, and so this was a big moment for comic book fans watching that battle pay off.
Yeah,
so
it was someone who could actually fight him.
Yeah, there are very few who can really go toe to toe with Thanos or Adam Warlock. So this was an epic battle. Yeah. So killing Adam Warlock is number 6 on our list.
And I think you have an honorable mention.
I do. We went through quite a few pretty intense ones there, so we're going to break it up with some funny honorable mentions that didn't quite make our list, but we're still going to tell you about them anyways. One of my personal favorites is the infamous moment where Squirrel Girl defeats Thanos and we never even see it. It's from the Great Lakes Avengers Xmas special. And it played out over 2 mini-stories. There's the one where Thanos shows up and Squirrel Girl kind of rolls up her sleeves and says, "All right, we're going to go stop him." And then we see the panel where she's taken out Thanos and we have no idea how she did it. And mostly to tease the fans, we don't ever get an explanation of it. She's standing there dusting off her hands. She says, "I can't believe me and Tippy Toe took out the real Thanos," and it's all bolded in the text. And Uatu the Watcher says, "Oh yeah, this was definitely the real Thanos, who's not a clone or a synthetic anything." And Thanos is laying there in a smoldering pile. And so it was kind of pretty funny that they...
That's weird.
It was like, he's out cold. And so everyone in the text is like, this was definitely the real Thanos. Later, Thanos claimed it was a clone, so we don't really know what happened, but that was the Great Lakes Avengers Christmas special. And that's how Squirrel Girl got the nickname the Anti-Life.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one of, unbeatable Squirrel Girl. She's always happy, and she's also the Anti-Life. So our second honorable mention is another instance of animal powers kind of getting the better of Thanos, the Pet Avengers.
I think it's because he underestimates them.
Yeah.
You know, like, why would you think a squirrel could take you out?
I don't know. I'm kind of scared of squirrels. They've
Well,
got
a bunch of
beady little
squirrels,
eyes.
yeah, but like one squirrel, and if it has like a cute person attached, like Squirrel Girl's really cute. You'd be like, "Aw, cute girl, squirrel," and then she takes you out. Same with the Pet Avengers. Go
Yeah.
on.
So you either underestimate a squirrel or you underestimate a giant bulldog and a regular tiny little dog and an orange house cat. This is the Pet Avengers led by Lockjaw and Thorfrog. So they had an adventure where they had to gather the Infinity Stones, and who's going to find the Infinity Stones with them? It's Thanos. So he shows up, and the Pet Avengers have to utilize the powers of the stones they've collected so far. One of their teammates gets killed in the fight, Mrs. Lion, which is May Parker's dog. And so in retribution, all the Pet Avengers banish Thanos to another dimension.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then what else are you going to do with them?
And then they collect all the stones and return to Mr. Fantastic and the Inhumans, and the day is saved. So,
Hooray.
yeah, so there's something with Thanos and underestimating cute small animals. So let's hope that he's learned from his lesson and goes into Infinity War with a clear conscience on that one. So those are our honorable mentions.
Now, I hope you enjoyed that really fun, happy little honorable mention break, because we're about to go to number 5, which was...
I think the rest of these are pretty dark
The rest
ones.
of these are really dark. And number 5 is the death of Captain America. So Thanos and Cap have a one-on-one fight in the Infinity Gauntlet series. And Cap is actually sacrificing himself well, not really, because it's supposed to be a distraction. Adam Warlock has this plan. Cap is going to distract Thanos. Silver Surfer is going to swoop in, steal the gauntlet, and that's how they're going to defeat Thanos. Silver Surfer wasn't as quick as he needed to be, so halfway through this whole plan, Thanos notices what's about to happen, and he is so upset at Captain America that he just backhands him, breaking his neck and killing Captain America.
Ooh. Did he backhand him with the gauntlet or his regular? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. But this is one of those iconic comic book moments and something that everyone keeps referencing in the trailer, because it's the one where Thanos and Cap are facing off just like one-on-one, and we see that happening in the trailer. So we're kind of hoping it ends differently for Cap this time around, though it is the iconic line of, as long as one man stands against you, you'll never be able to claim victory. Ooh. So Cap being Cap to the very end. Number 5 is the death of Captain America in Infinity Gauntlet.
So, unfortunately, even if there's one person to stand up to Thanos or a whole team of heroes, they can't always stop him. Number 4 on our list is Civil War II from 2016. Now, Thanos actually was not the central conflict in this incident, but his appearance was so just bombastic for starting the whole event. This was written by Brian Michael Bendis and with art by David Marquez. So the Avengers began to use an Inhuman's power of precognition to figure out where they should go to stop crimes, and they learned that Thanos was about to ambush in his search for the Cosmic Cube. And so a team of Avengers goes to this airstrip to meet him. And in an all-out assault, Rhodey, War Machine, he gets up in Thanos' face. He starts to attack with his the missiles on his suit. And Thanos, having enough of this, punches straight through the suit, killing Rhodey instantly. And in that attack, he redirects some of the missiles from War Machine's suit and knocks She-Hulk into a coma that was so devastating. She lost her color green. She turned into a gray Hulk, which was an incredibly savage Hulk. So even when the Avengers had the jump on Thanos, he utterly destroyed the team, and the death of War Machine affected Iron Man and Captain Marvel so greatly. I was going to say Captain America, different Civil War. Because, those superheroes are always having fights. No, it affected Iron Man and Captain Marvel so greatly that it launched the second superhero Civil War about whether or not they should be able to use this Inhuman's power to predict battles because Iron Man believed that they shouldn't do it because this is what got them into this mess. And Captain Marvel said, well, no, we can prevent future incidents like this by continuing to use this power. So in the fight against Thanos, a civil war started.
So you're telling me that this movie is going to be super happy.
Oh, yeah. These comic book stories only have tons of fun to go off of when it comes to Thanos.
Yeah. Speaking of which, number 3 on the list is when Thanos, with a snap, got rid of half the universe.
Oh.
At this point in Infinity Gauntlet, he has collected all the stones and he's deciding on his first action. And I don't know if we've mentioned it before. We've definitely mentioned the character of Mistress Death. Mistress Death, Thanos kind of has a thing for her, and he, with his actions, wants to impress her since she has only sent liaisons to speak with him up to this point. He just really wants to show her what he can do for her. So with a snap, he offers her half the universe, and billions of people instantly die. So... Oof. That would be that. Number 3, Thanos destroys half the universe with a snap.
Now, that's actually an interesting transition. Do you know which comic that came from? Because I have a similar incident here that involves death and wiping out half of a universe. I just didn't know how many times Thanos has wiped out half the universe.
This came from Infinity Gauntlet.
All right, then this one is from Captain Marvel 33. So, you know, if he gets rid of one half of the universe, then there's only one half left, but the universe keeps coming back. Anyways.
Well, all of the events of Infinity Gauntlet were undone eventually when Adam Warlock got the gauntlet back. So
Excellent.
Just so you know. So he could have gotten rid of the half of the universe more than once.
Alrighty. So this is one of those instances. So, spoiler alert, the half of the universe is wiped out. This is the second spot on our Thanos appearance list. Death laughs at Thanos. So
see, that's also a difference. Death isn't here.
Okay.
This is his offering to her.
Perfect. Oh my God. How many times can you destroy the Marvel Universe? Anyways, Captain Marvel 33. Thanos wipes out half of the Earth with the cosmic cube in an effort to please Mistress Death. But there are still some heroes there to face him. So Mar-Vell sacrifices himself to destroy the cube, and it ends up destroying Thanos as well. And in that moment, after Death sees all the destruction that Thanos has wrought in her name, and then sees the fact that Thanos was destroyed in this pursuit, all she can do is laugh. And that moment, the panels are just so beautifully done because
I love those panels.
It's this echoing moment. It's almost like echoes across the starways.
Yeah.
And you see in the last one, Thanos is reflected in her eye, and he is just crying out in anguish, it looks like, because this was one of the first times that Marvel fans really got to see Death will not be courted. She will not, she's not so easily seduced by, hey, babe, I wiped out half the Marvel Universe for you.
Again.
Like, yeah, again. Yeah, so this was a chilling moment for fans where they got to see Thanos' pursuit is fruitless. Death is never going to be satisfied no matter how many times he wipes out the Marvel Universe. So that takes the number 2 spot on our list.
Number 1 is probably the moment everybody thinks of when they think of Thanos. This moment comes to mind because it's that comic book cover of
he went from a cool bad guy to a certified absolute psychopath villain.
Absolutely. It's the cover of Infinity Gauntlet number 4. It's the Come and Get Me cover. And every fan of Thanos knows exactly what that is. He has the gauntlet, he has all the stones, and he just has that grin on his face, and he is challenging every superhero to come and get him. Now, at this point, it's interesting because the Infinity Gauntlet kind of takes a double entendre, because in this issue, number 4, he kind of runs the gauntlet of the heroes of the Marvel Universe, destroying them one after the other. So it's the moment, the defining Thanos moment. Come and get me. I have all of the power of the cosmos. That's Thanos.
Ugh. Wow. Whoa, this list took me on a roller coaster.
I know. Thanos is such an intense character.
I want to go back to the Thanos copter and laugh again.
Yeah, I was like, can we talk more about Pet Avengers?
So, just to recap this list for you guys, our honorable mentions were when Thanos was defeated by Squirrel Girl and by the Pet Avengers in 2 separate instances. Number 10 was the appearance of the Thanos copter. Number 9 was the revelation that his name is Dione. Number 8 was Drax ripping out Thanos' heart. 7, the mid-credits scene of the Avengers. 6 was killing Adam Warlock. 5 was killing Captain America. Number 4 was starting Civil War II. Number 3 was The Snap. Number 2 was Death laughing at Thanos. And number 1, Come and Get Me. So that's the Geek Culture Countdown for top 10 Thanos appearances. Wow.
Really cool. Can't wait for Infinity War.
Oh my goodness. That's going to be crazy. And if even one of these devastating moments from our list shows up in that film, it's going to be
I kind of hope it's
ride.
the one where Drax rips out his heart and everything's happily ever after.
Russo brothers, give me the Thanos copter. I will never let that one go. But did we miss any Mad Titan moments that would appear on your own list? Be sure to check out our blog and let us know your favorite Thanos appearances at geeksideshow.com. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to let your geek side show. This has been your Geek Culture Countdown. For more ad-free pop culture news and content, visit geeksideshow.com. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to let your geek side show.